Hey, what is up guys? It is BrenSki and I'm here today with another video. So as you can see, we are at the new house, so we are fully moved in now, although not all the furniture is exactly placed exactly where we want it. My room isn't finished yet exactly. There are still a few things more to get done, but in the near future, I will be doing a full before and after video so you guys can see the progress that's been made over time, and just stay tuned for that. That is going to be a little bit in the future, but let's move on to the topic at hand for today. So today I'm going to be going over 3 simple steps that will allow you to tag habits for control over your life. So the first step is to know thyself. It is most important to first identify what your habits are so you can really figure out what you're actually doing. So like, what's the first thing you do in the morning? Go ahead, write that down. Go through one day, just one day, write down your habits so you can at least identify and then figure out what it is that you are actually doing. And when you identify what your habits are, it really allows you to know what you're doing throughout your entire day. So I'm going to be moving on to the second step and taking these identified habits and tagging them to what they do for you in your life. So I'm going to be using the example of video games. When I was younger, I used to play a ton of video games. I still enjoy video games in my daily life. I do it as a leisure, which is fine. But back in the day, I used to spend countless upon countless hours on these things. And I never really realized how much time I was actually wasting with them because I never accounted for or identified how many hours I was spending on them per day. And so in this case, I would quote unquote tag video games as a bad habit because I spent tons of hours on them that was unproductive. However, in some people's cases, video games are actually very productive because it is their job or their sport or whatever they're doing. Video games is part of their living. So if something that you're doing is part of your living, like say video games, as an example, if you're recording videos, putting them on YouTube, that is productive work. Basically, what I mean by tagging them as bad habits are things that are counterintuitive or counterproductive to something that you're trying to work on as a whole. And so another example for me would be unhealthy foods like Doritos or soda. I never really realized how bad they were until I identified what they actually did for me. And they pretty much absolutely do nothing for me. So I just completely cut them out of my diet and I identified them as a bad thing or as more or less an enemy to progress in the gym and being healthy overall as a human being. And so once I was able to tag these habits as an enemy to my progress, that's when I really was able to take control and cut them out completely, or at least to a minimal level where I have control over them and they're not taking control over me. And one other caveat to the second step is it's very important to learn these things for yourself. As Napoleon Hill always says, self-knowledge is key. Self-knowledge is very important because if someone just tells you that these things are bad, you may not necessarily be like, oh, whatever, he's just saying they're bad, I shouldn't do them, whatever, and then you're still gonna keep on doing them. And that's why it's very important for you to identify them and then to tag them yourself and figure out why. Figure out the why to why they're bad or why they're good habits. And so the third step for having control of your life is to take action. I cannot emphasize this enough. You need to take action. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for next week. You need to start now. So go out there and take action by identifying your habits and then tagging them and then putting those tags into place. Like this video, take action. Subscribe to my channel, take action. Anyway guys, that's all for today and I'll see you in the next one.